welcome back to Champion the Passion, a weekly pressing podcast where we inspire you to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. I'm your host, my name is Victoria Daisy, and today we're going to be recapping everything that happened last night on Friday Night Smackdown. But before we dive deeper, don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. But let's dive right in to the opening segment. But actually, before we get there, let's start with what immediately opened the show, and that was Drew McIntyre. So Drew McIntyre has been suspended for weeks now, right? And he still has not been instated. So Nick Aldis came out and they were fighting because he's not supposed to be there, and they're in the parking lot going crazy, and Drew wanted entry, but Nick did not allow it. And after he finally went back into his truck, and waiting for him inside the truck was a very angry Cody Rhodes, who attacked him in the vehicle. And once he was able to get him off and drive away, that left Cody being held back by security, very angry with red in his eyes. And this, to me, is all just continuing the heel turn. I haven't shut up about it. A lot of people have been arguing with me saying, yeah, but baby faces can get angry too. But it's not just being angry. It's like the lashing out constantly. You look evil in your face. You know what I mean? There's just different components that add to this. But anyways, then Cody stormed out to the ring to cut a promo, which we will talk about right now. He came out looking like a literal rabbit pack animal hunting for blood. And that's what I'm saying. It's not just a angry baby face. It is straight up a heel. I'm telling you guys, it's gonna happen. And also, all the rumors saying that Cody and Roman are going at it again for the third time at WrestleMania. If that happens, the only way you catch my attention is by going roles reversed. Having Roman be the babyface and having Cody be the heel. I said it, I don't care. Let's get into his promo though. He said that Drew attacked him in his bus last week, where his wife sleeps, where his children play, and quote, you thought there would be no repercussions. Then he said, quote, you are WWE's resident cockroach, which was a great line that actually had me cackling a little bit. Then he said that Drew may have never beat him, but he has broke him. And after, he yelled out to Nick Aldis and begged him to reinstate Drew so that he can stomp on that cockroach. And now it seems like hopefully we're going to get a match from these two. I don't know when, because Cody does have a match at Saturday Night's Main Event that does not include Drew, and we'll talk about that later, but very curious to see what ends up happening there. And I just thought Cody cut a really great promo, and another one to add to his list of, well, great promos. And I also want to mention that during his entrance and exit, he did not look once at the crowd, did not high-five a single person, did not do the whoa, nothing. What does a heel do? Exactly that. Case closed. All right, let's head to the first match of the night. We had Ilya Dragunov defending his United States Championship against Carmelo Hayes. This was a really good match. It felt like I was watching NXT 2.0 again, which, come on, guys. We all know the trilogy of cinema that they created in NXT. And so to see that now on the main roster was so exciting. Another classic from them. They always have had great in-ring chemistry, so obviously there was no shock there, but it was just a great showcase for the both of them, and I'm so happy that they got to run it back, but now on the main roster. So many cool, moves and spots, storytelling moments, all of the above, but in the end, Ilya Dragunov did retain. Then after that, we had a match between Kairi Sane and Alexa Bliss. This was a fun match, I will say. I wasn't sure how the two of them would be together in the ring, but it honestly worked really well. I also really enjoyed seeing the few interactions we had ringside between Charlotte and Asuka. I thought that was really funny, but in the end, Alexa Bliss dominantly won against Kairi. And after the match, Lash Legend and Nia Jax came out to attack Charlotte and Alexa from behind, and I love what they're doing. They are truly building them to be the biggest threat in the women's tag team division, I should say. And, the top heels in that tag division. And, obviously Nia's an established heel, but now they're really just establishing Lash. And I love that. Obviously, we saw similar kind of storyline to like this last year with Tiffany Stratton and Nia when she was kind of building her up. And so now Nia's doing it for Lash, and I absolutely love it. And so hopefully, we all know how the Tiffany Nia story went down. So hopefully, very much later on, we could get something like that with Lash and Nia. I think that would really elevate Lash and be so awesome for her. After, I actually want to talk about a backstage segment, which I never really talk about, but This had to do with Nick Aldis and Cody Rhodes. So Cody went into Nick's office, to cool down and kind of just discuss what's next for him. Obviously, he wants the match with Drew, but Saturday night's main event is coming up, and he's just trying to figure out things, right? And inside of his office was waiting for him, the NXT champion Ricky Sainz and Obafemi. You guys know I love Obafemi, so I lit up when I saw him in there. And Oba and Ricky were confused why they got called to SmackDown, not like called up, but like called to be there last night. And Cody was there just to clear some air, and he said that in spirit of what John Cena has been preaching about opportunity, he said that whoever wins tomorrow night, aka tonight, at NXT Deadline in their title match, whoever wins that match will then go on to Saturday night's main event to face Cody Rhodes. So it's either going to be Ricky or Oba. If you guys saw my preview and prediction video yesterday on Deadline, you can hear all my predictions for the show tonight, but I did predict that Ricky is going to retain because I do hope that Obafemi gets called up after this. I don't think he has anything left to do in NXT, and I think the main roster is waiting for him. So I will say that it's probably going to be Ricky and Cody, which I cannot be mad about for 1 second because we all know their history. So that's going to be really, really fun, and I'm super excited for that. Then we had a match with the women's champion, Jade Cargill versus Alba Fire, and I just have to say this was the stupidest match, waste of my time, for real. The women's championship truly has no prestige at this point with Jade Cargill holding it. I think Tiffany Stratton was a much better champion and the third longest reigning champion, might I add, and I just don't know why. I don't know why they did this. It was absolutely pointless. Yes, Jade Cargill retained, but obviously it's not like Alba was going to win it. And so I will talk about Royal Rumble closer to January, or the end of January when it rolls around, but I'm already going to call my shots now. I think that Tiffany Stratton is going to return at the Rumble and win the Rumble, go on to face Jade at WrestleMania and beat her. Point blank. Anyways, now let's move on to the best segment of the night, Solo Sikoa and the MFTs. So he told everyone that they were going to, quote, handle the Sami Zayn problem, and they did. Then he called out Uncle Howdy and acknowledges that he has been watching him, and so has he. After, he said that he didn't get a chance to introduce himself last week, so he's gonna do it now. He said his name is Solo Sikoa, and you better not forget it. This is his ring, his show, and his family tree. Then he continued on by saying that the Wyatt Six have something that belongs to his family, and that is those tag team titles. Then he said, if you hurt his family, you're hurting him, and vice versa. After, he said that he will take away everything he loves and prove why he doesn't earn the Wyatt name. Then he closed the promo out by saying that he's going to take everything because he can, and because all he has to do is leave. When he said that, I levitated off my couch and ascended to a different universe, I swear. When he dropped those two lines, the one that I'm gonna prove that you don't deserve the Wyatt name, and then the leave line, had me stunned, okay? Bo Dallas was such an icon in the 2010s, and I loved him as a kid. So getting to hear that leave line was a gag. Then it looked like we were going to finish the segment, but then the lights went out. Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six came out. They were all face to face, and then a brawl broke out. And so now I'm hoping that that will lead to a match. But don't they have a match? Don't they have a match? Or am I hallucinating? I thought they were supposed to have an elimination match at Survivor Series. What happened to that? Unless that's going to happen on SmackDown next week, I don't even know. Anyways, now let's head to the main event, which was the finals for the Last Time Is Out tournament, LA Knight versus Gunther. Now, this was a really good match, and I can't believe that we are finally at the finals and that John Cena retires next week. Don't even talk to me about it. A week from today, I will be actually ill, and I'm not prepared. So, there were great spots, great storytelling, a lot of close calls, definitely the perfect match to put in the main event slot, but Gunther won. which I'm totally okay with. And he will go on to face John Cena next weekend in his retirement match at Saturday Night's Main Event. That's not my bone to pick. My bone to pick is with the finish of this match. Yes, I wanted Gunther to win, but I'm not happy. He made LA Knight tap, which made him look weak as hell. And guys, LA Knight is not weak as hell, okay? He should have not lost like that. And also, it's not like he just randomly made him tap too. He was already wearing him down so much. The crowd was quiet. No one could give a crap. And all of a sudden he just taps and then you go off air like 15 seconds later. It was awful, okay? So with the way this is, if Gunther does not beat John Cena, this is all like worthless. This had no point. And I'm just saying, I've already been saying since the summertime that Gunther was going to retire John Cena after he retired Goldberg, but let's just see what happens. But let's head into my overall thoughts. Overall, I thought it was a really solid show. My match of the night was Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes. I loved everything about this match. It was so much fun. My segment of the night was Solo Sikoa and the MFTs because Solo's promo, holy crap, was so good. Obviously, you guys know I just give the cliff notes, so if you want the full experience, please go watch it if you haven't already. And I think also getting to see Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six was really awesome at the end too. Overall, I'd rate the show about a 7 out of 10. So I believe that's a bit of a higher rating than what I gave it last week. Don't quote me on that. But don't forget to watch NXT Deadline tonight, December 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, streaming exclusively on Peacock and Netflix internationally. And thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this episode of Champion the Passion. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Don't forget to champion your passions and celebrate the joy of what you love. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.